Hi, welcome once again to another new video. This is Santosh Sahu and you are watching SAHOO'S tutorial. In this YouTube video, I will be covering another 50 important MCQ for the upcoming UGC NET exam on English literature. This is the part 18 here. I am conducting here 1000 MCQ series for the upcoming UGC NET exam. This is the part 18 and in the previous 17 videos, I have discussed 850 questions along with explanation. So this is the part 18. Visit the playlist, that is 1000 MCQ series. You will get all the videos there. So before starting the session, I would like to request all of you, please do subscribe my channel and tap the bell icon to get more notification that I will upload in future. So let's get into the video and watch the video till the end, because it is going to be a very informative session. So here is your first question on your screen. That is question number 851. Okay, the first question says that who wrote the novel The Red Room, which is the first modern Swedish novel and a satire on Stockholm society. So this is the first modern Swedish novel and a satire on Stockholm society. So who wrote the novel The Red Room? August Strindberg, Henry Gibson, Emile Zola, Miguel de Cervantes. So this work, The Red Room, the novel, was written by August Strindberg. So here A is the right option here. And you know that The Red Room is also a short story. It is also a short story, and that short story was written by H.G. Wells. H.G. Wells has written the short story called The Red Room, and the novel Red Room was written by August Strindberg, which is the first modern Swedish novel as well as a satire on Stockholm society. Next question. Who wrote Master Olof? Master Olof, that was rejected by the Royal Theatre, which is a historical drama. Which is a historical drama. So who wrote Master Olof, that was rejected by the Royal Theatre? August Strindberg, Henry Gibson, Emile Zola, Miguel de Cervantes. So that Master Olof, which is a historical drama, was written by August Strindberg. So here A is the right option. Let's look at this explanation here. Master Olof is a historical drama in 5 acts. So it has 5 acts by the Swedish playwright August Strindberg. The story is about the reformer Olaus Petri's struggle against the Roman Catholic Church in the 16th century. First written in 1782, Strindberg rewrote it many times in both prose and verse. Next question. Which of the following books in Ovid's Metamorphoses is concerned with the mythology of thieves? So the thieves mythology, in which book of Ovid's Metamorphoses we find the mythology of thieves? Book 2, book 3, book 4, book 5. So it is in book 3 actually. In book 3 we find the mythology of thieves in Ovid's Metamorphoses. So here B is the right option. Who is known as the father of the modern Swedish theatre? Modern Swedish literature. The father of modern Swedish literature is August Strindberg, Henry Gibson, Emile Zola, Miguel de Cervantes. So here the father of modern Swedish literature is August Strindberg. A is the right option here. Moving to next question. How did Chaucer's pardoner make his living? By selling stolen cattle from the neighborhood ottery? No. By selling indulgences to those who committed sins, or by pardoning those who stole property or committed other crimes? No. By assisting the friar in church services? No. So here Chaucer's pardoner was making his living by selling indulgence to those who committed sins. So it is B. So B is the right option here. The Father is a naturalistic tragedy. Who wrote this? The Father is a naturalistic tragedy. It was written by August Strindberg, Henry Gibson, Emile Zola, Miguel de Cervantes. It was written by August Strindberg. The Father is also written by August Strindberg. Okay. Next question. Miss Julie, which is an epistolary novel. Miss Julie, which is it's a naturalistic novel. It is not epistolary. So Miss Julie is a naturalistic play written in 1888, and one of theme of the play is Darwinism. So here Miss Julie is a naturalistic play written in 1888. One theme of the play is here that Darwinism. Who wrote the play. This is a play. Austen Buck, you know, who is this? Is the father of the Swedish literature, modern Swedish literature. Austen Buck, Henry Gibson, Emile Zola, and Miguel de Cervantes. So here the right option is, that is, Austen Buck has written Miss Julie, which is a naturalistic play, and it was written in the year 1888. Let's look at here that Miss Julie, naturalistic play written in 1888 by Austen Buck. It is set on Midsummer's Eve, the following morning, which is a midsummer and the feast day of Saint John the Baptist. The setting is an estate of Count in Sweden, and Miss Julie is drawn to a senior servant, a valet named Jean, who is well travelled and well read. The action takes place in the kitchen of Miss Julie's father's manor, where Jean's fiancé, a servant named Christian, cooks and sometimes sleeps while Jean and Miss Julie talk. So here Miss Julie is a naturalistic play written by Austen Buck. Virgil's Eclogue 4 describes the birth of a boy who will become a divine and eventually rule over the world. So that boy will become a divine figure and eventually rule over the world. Who is that boy? In Virgil's Eclogue 4, Mark Antony? No. Alexander the Great? No. Julius Caesar? No. Octavian. So here Octavian is the person, the boy who will become divine and eventually rule over the world. So D is the right option where in Virgil's Eclogue 4. Moving to next question. Muno, the famous character Muno. Muno is a character in Mulkraj Anand's Seven Summers. This is the unknown work by Mulkraj Anand, Seven Summers. Okay, this is a very unknown work, rare work. Seven Summers, no. Untouchable. In Untouchable there are Baka and Laka affairs. Coolie. So here Coolie is the right option. In Coolie we find the character Muno. Muno appears in the novel Coolie, written by Mulkraj Anand. From among the following, identify Coleridge's companion in a fanciful scheme to establish a utopian society. So they wanted to establish a utopian society, utopian community of free love on the banks of the Susquehanna River. Okay, Susquehanna River. Was it Lord Byron? So it was identify Coleridge's companion. So Coleridge, Lord Byron was not there. Robert Sadi, William Hadley was not there, and this William Wordsworth was not there. So here it was Robert Sadi and Coleridge. So here Coleridge and Robert Sadi, they wanted to make a utopian community. So here that is written by, that is idea by Coleridge and Robert Sadi, but it was never done. It was never completed by them. Okay, they failed to do so. So yeah, next question. Which of the following novels by H.G. Wells is about the condition of England as empire? The Island of Dr. Moreau, The War of the Worlds, Tono Bungay, Invisible Man. So which of the following novels by H.G. Wells is about the condition of England as empire? It is Tono Bungay. It is a semi-autobiographical novel. Tono Bungay is a semi-autobiographical novel. By H.G. Wells. Tono Bungay is about the condition of England as empire. Moving to next question. Horace's hymn that Carmen Secular is addressed to Dionysus, no. Hera, no. Apollo, Athena. It is to Apollo. So Apollo, Horace's hymn, that is Carmen Secular, is addressed to Apollo. Jutan is an autobiography by Om Prakash Valmiki, a collection of poems, no. A play, no. An autobiography, a novel. So this is an autobiography. So A, Jutan is Om Prakash Valmiki, it is an autobiography. Om Prakash Valmiki is an autobiography. Listed below are some of the English plays across several centuries. 12th Night, written by, Shakespeare, 6 Steps to Oliver Goldsmith. The importance of being earnest. Then you have Pygmalion and Blithe's Spirit, Noel Coward. So what is here common to them? So these 12 Nights, 6 Steps to Conquer, these are all actually comedies. So all problem plays, scheming, and these are not problem play. Tragedies, no. all ideologically framed and class and gender, all romantic comedies, all romantic comedies and love and laughter. So here D is the right answer. They are all romantic comedies, love and laughter. This is the, they are common to them. Common to them. The first periodical, a manuscript newspaper that figured in Europe or Venice, Watch, and Gazeta, the Tatler, the Spectator, or none of these. So it was Gazette. It was the first periodical a manuscript newspaper that figured in Europe. It was Gazeta. Moving to next question, the term pathetic fallacy was coined by whom? John Ruskin, Matthew Arnold, no. William Shakespeare, no. John Donne, no. So in John Ruskin, in his work there is a modern painters. In his work there is modern painters. Okay, in that work, okay, he has coined the term that is pathetic fallacy. Pathetic fallacy. Moving to next question, coined by British culture critic John Ruskin in 1856 in his work Modern Painters. Fallacy does not refer to logical fallacy but should be understood as a falsehood, something that is untrue, while pathetic here means caused by an excited state of the feeling. Who is the writer of the Prometheus Bound? P.B. Shelley, Robert Browning, Aeschylus, John Keats. It was Aeschylus. Aeschylus has Prometheus Bound. The Book of Eugene is about Blake's book is Origin of Evil, the art of writing, human liberation. So the Book of Eugene is about origin of evil. Origin of evil. Next question: in which work of Byron's works do we come across the Byronic hero? The Byronic hero: Childe Harold's Pilgrimage, Don Juan, Alistair, George, Childe Harold's Pilgrimage. So here Childe Harold's Pilgrimage, that is A. In Childe Harold's Pilgrimage we find the word that Byronic hero. Who is Thief's King in Aeschylus' play? That is 7 against thieves. 7 against thieves. So here, who is Thief's King in Aeschylus' play? 7 against thieves. So Capanus, Tydeus, Polynices, Eteocles. So in 7 against thieves, the king was Eteocles. Walter Scott has no business to write novels, especially good one. It is not fair. He had fame and profit enough as a poet and should not be talking the bread out of the other people's mouths. I do not like him. I do not mean to like Waverley if I can help it, but fear I must. Who wrote this after Scott had published his Waverley? Thomas Peacock, no. Oliver Goldsmith, no. Jane Austen, none of these. So it was Jane Austen had written after the publications of the Waverley novel by Walter Scott. Jane Austen, that I can help. I do not mean to like Waverley if I can help it, but fear I must. That is Jane Austen. Who among the following wrote a poem that is comparing comparing a lover's heart to a hand grenade. Lover's heart to a hand grenade. John Donne, no. Abraham Cowley, Wilfred Owen, or Robert Graves, no. So it was Abraham Cowley. Probably the name of the poem is The Given Heart. I can't remember exactly. Probably maybe it is The Given Heart, something. The Given Heart. Given was there. Probably The Given Heart in that poem. Abraham Cowley is comparing lover's heart to a hand grenade. Probably The Given Heart. The word given is there. And heart is not there. I can't remember exactly. So you will have to check it here. The uncertainty principle, okay, is attributed to William James, John Dewey, Charles Darwin. Uncertainty principle is attributed to Werner Heisenberg, the Nobel laureate in physics. Okay, Werner Heisenberg. Jabberwocky is a creation in Lewis Edward Lear's poetry, Lewis Carroll's work, Charles Dickens, Martin Chuzzlewit, Thomas Hardy's Woodlander. So Jabberwocky is a creation in Lewis Carroll's work. That is, let's look at here. Jabberwocky is a nonsense poem written by Lewis Carroll about the killing of a creature named the Jabberwock. It was included in 1871 novel Through the Looking Glass. That is the sequel of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. The book tells of Alice's adventures within the back to front world of Looking Glass world. So it's a nonsense poem by Lewis Carroll. Which of the characters is banished permanently of King Richard in Shakespeare's Richard II? Okay, John of Gaunt, Thomas Mowbray, Henry Bolingbroke, Henry Percy. So it is Thomas Mowbray was banished permanently in Richard II. Next question. Okay, question number 876. Who is Charlotte Bronte writing about in these lines? Which it is about Charlotte Bronte. The passions are perfectly unknown to her, and she rejects even a speaking acquaintance with that stormy sisterhood. Jane Austen, Emily Bronte, Charlotte Bronte had written this or none of this. So here it is Jane Austen is writing about Charlotte Bronte. Next question. Preserve the purity and ascertain the meaning of our English idiom was a part of Samuel Johnson's preface to The Vanity of Human Uses. No. Dictionary. Russell's. None of these. So it was a kind of a preface to dictionary. Preface to dictionary by Samuel Johnson. Hardy's chief preoccupation in his works is with the theme of love. No. The man-woman relationship. No. The filial ingratitude. No. Man's unequal struggle with the fate. So man's unequal struggle with the fate deals with Hardy's novel. Next question. Michael Henchard, a character created by Hardy, figures in Woodlanders, Well Beloved, Jude the Obscure, the Mayor of Custardis. The Mayor of Custardis. Okay. The next question. Who are Dido and Gigo? These are the surnames. The two characters in Endgame, Lucky and Pojo. No, their nicknames is respectively for Vladimir and Estragon. Yeah, Vladimir's nickname is Dido, whereas Estragon's nickname is Gogo. And this is from the magnum opus that is Waiting for Godot, a tragedy in two acts. Samuel Beckett's. Moving to next question. Who among the following theories talk about the circulation of social energy? Circulation of social energy. Raymond Williams. No. Stephen Greenblatt, Antonio Gramsci, Hayden White. So it was Stephen Greenblatt. Stephen Greenblatt has given that the concept of circulation of Stephen Greenblatt is the right answer. Circulation of social energy. Which John Keats poem was brutally criticized by Blackwood and Quarterly magazines? Endymion, Lamia, Isabella, the Eve of St. Agnes. So Keats' Endymion was brutally criticized by Blackwood and Quarterly magazines. Next question. Who wrote Kangaroo? Kangaroo is written by D.H. Lawrence. D.H. Lawrence has written Kangaroo. Next question. How many legends of good women could Chaucer complete? He was able to complete 9 women in the legend of the good women. 9 women. 9 is the right answer here. Okay. In which year Alfred Tennyson was appointed as poet laureate? In 1850. In the year 1850. Okay. The Round Table is a collection. Round Table is a collection of essays by Lew Hunt and William Hazlitt. So here see William Hazlitt and Lew Hunt. Lew Hunt and William Hazlitt. The Dylan Thomas is associated with the group New Apocalypse. Here New Apocalypse. Okay. Browning's Pauline. Is a kind of a tribute to Shelley. So here social satire, homage to Tennyson, tribute to Shelley and his poetry. It is Robert Browning's Pauline is a tribute to Shelley and his poetry. C is the right option here. In which of the following acts of Shakespeare the Tempest does a wedding must? The Tempest does a wedding must exists. Okay, it is in Act 4. In Act 4, okay, we find the wedding mask of wedding mask in the Tempest. In the Act 4 of Tempest, we find a wedding mask. Okay, which was the first novel by Charles Dickens? Charles Dickens' first novel was Pickwick Papers, that was published in the year 1836. Okay, where Samuel Pickwick is the main protagonist. Samuel Pickwick is the main protagonist of the okay, of that novel that is published in the year 1836 by Charles Dickens. The first novel by Pickwick was Pickwick Papers. The boast of heraldry, the pomp of power, and all that beauty, all that wealth ever grape, awaits alike the inevitable hour. The paths of glory lead but to the grave. Okay, these are famous lines from that is Thomas Grace. Elige written in a country churchyard. What is the subject of awaits? Hour, the things mentioned in the first two lines, and all the beauty, all that wealth ever grave or grave. So the subject of awaits is here hour, time, hour. Next question. Heavens has no race like love to hatred, turned nor hell a fury like a woman scorned. Okay, these are famous lines from which work? The famous line. Heaven has no race like love to hatred, like love to hatred, tant nor hella feel like women scorned. Okay, these are Double Dealer, Way of the World, Morning Bride, Love for Love. So these are all works written by William Congreve. In this work, these lines appear in the work that is The Morning Bride by William Congreve. The Morning Bride. C is the right answer over here. Okay, in a word, the book is a great moral study. In a word, the book is a great moral study and a very interesting book, but the novel as a whole lacks the strong reality which marks George Eliot's other works. Which work is mentioned here? Okay, Mill on the Floor, Snow, Romola, Daniel Deronda, Adam Beat. So it was Romola. It was Romola, George Eliot's Romola is mentioned here. Okay. Who said I deal with all period, but I never study any period but the present? Okay, it is Joseph Conrad. Joseph Conrad said that I deal with all period, but I never study any period but the present. Okay, it is Joseph Conrad. Moving to next question. A young lady's entrance into the world. This is a subtitle of which work? This is Evelina. This is Evelina. Evelina is it's an epistolary novel. It's an epistolary novel. It's an epistolary novel. Epistolary. It's an epistolary novel. It is epistle written by Fanny Burney. Here written by Fanny Burney. Evelina, or the history of a young lady entrance into the world, is a novel written by Fanny Burney, 1778. All the pub. And in this 3-volume epistolary novel, the title that's Evelina is the unacknowledged but legitimate daughter of a dissipated English artist aristocrat that's raised in rural seclusion until her 17th. Okay, so this is this sentimental novel, with his notions of sensibility and early romanticism, satirizes the society in which it is set, and is a significant precursor to the work of Jane Austen and Maria Edgeworth, whose novels explore many of the same issues. So here, Evelina, or the history of a young lady's entrance into the world, is a novel by Fanny Burney, published in the 1778, which is an epistolary and it is a sentimental novel. The old order changeth, yielding place to new. This is the famous phrases appear in work Idylls of the King by Tennyson's Idylls of the King. Moving to next question, which is the following cannot be classified as a fantasy fiction. Okay, Inheritors, William Goodney, fantasy fiction. Magas by John Fowles, fantasy fiction. Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien, the fantasy fiction. Whereas the history of man, where the history of man by Rob Bradbury, Malcolm Bradbury is a campus novelist. Here the history of man is cannot be classified. So here D is the right answer, because the history of a man is a campus novel. Bradbury's first known novel, The History Man, is a campus novel published 1975. It is a satire of the academic life in glass and steel universities. The one established in 1960s, which followed the Red Bricks. Okay, so The History Man is a campus novel written by Bradbury. Okay, Philosophy of Symbolic Forms is a work associated with Arnett Crashier. Philosophy of Symbolic Form is associated with Arnett Crashier. Arnett Crashier believed that all the forms of representation that human beings use, language, myth, art, religion, history, science, are symbolic, and the concept of symbolic forms was the basis of the thinking on this subject. Lorna Doone, and its subtitle is A Romance of Exmoor. Its subtitle is a romance of Exmoor. Its subtitle is A Romance of Exmoor. Lorna Doone is written by R.D. Anthony Trollope, Bulwer Lytton, R.D. Blackmore, Charles Reade. So Lorna Doone, A Romance of Exmoor, was written by R.D. Blackmore. Here C is the right option. Let's look at the explanation. Lorna Doone, A Romance of the Exmoor, is a novel by author Richard Doddridge Blackmore, published 1869. It is a romance based on a group of historical characters and set in the late 17th century Devon and Somerset, particularly around East Lane Valley and area of Exmoor. So Lorna Doone, A Romance of Exmoor, is a novel by Richard Doddridge Blackmore. So here is the last question. In which poem Tennyson we come across knights and heroes to fair ladies and manor houses, and found material for poetry among the humble people that make up the bulk of English life? Okay, in which poem by Tennyson we came across knights and heroes to fair ladies and manor houses, and found material for poetry among the humble people that make up the bulk of English life? Ulysses? No. Dora? No. The Thostel? No. Enoch Arden. So here it is Enoch Arden. So thank you once again for watching the video, and do not forget to subscribe my channel SAHOO'S Tutorial